This is Justin Amazon on Friday, March 15th, 2019, with a look at the pre-market this morning on Amazon. We've got a gap up. So this double top is not happening. And not only that, yesterday was a bearish candle. We're gapping above it. We're almost clearing the high. Looks like we could very well clear the high. And we're above this yellow line, which I can switch over to the daily in a little bit to show you, what we just drew in the other day. We touched into this from below. This is our first time coming back down to it from above. We've got a high wave candle pre-market. Let's see what happens today. Now we've got another high wave candle, a little more bearish, but we threw an upper wick pretty high up here. You kind of see maybe this is a bit of a support, maybe support here, resistance here. It could be a little bit of resistance now. This initial choppiness up here has now broken down. We've retested it back right up here. Now we've retested it during the day, and we've got a squeeze forming. We get a little bit of a pullback, a big candle, but stays below this high and stays above this low. So inside candle, a very small candle, another inside candle, from the bigger one. So right now we're just chopping sideways. There's nothing happening. But this is a lot of bulls jumping on right now, thinking it's going, I'm clearing the high, it's a gap and go, it should just run up. But there's nothing to say it's going to break out. We don't have a move above this. We're making some lower highs in here. We really have to have a 5-minute close above one of these wicks to really say, okay, we're making something happen. We're making a change here. All that's going on right now is we're consolidating. We're just going sideways. So seeing this, I would see kind of some lower highs here, maybe some higher lows come in. And, we maybe form some sort of an apex around 1700, 1702, somewhere in here before we do something. I don't know what, but something. Got the squeeze forming. We should have a good move, Here we go. We've got a little bit of pullback. Okay, there you go. Now you got some higher lows, some lower highs. This is kind of a retest from below on the yellow that didn't rally as strongly as this one. We're kind of retesting right on it. So that's a little concerning because we don't have such a strong bullish move. Generally, when we don't have a good, strong bullish move, we have a little bit of a rollover. I mean, we've seen that with the consolidation yesterday. It just kind of petered out, kind of rolled over. I was thinking maybe the day before, but it may have been the day before that even. But yesterday was a good example where we consolidated and we just kind of rolled down instead of rolling up. It's a little bit harder to kind of just roll up because people actually have to be buying, which means that they should be taking profit and usually you're at a target, but it's easier to just sell it and just let it drop. And, for the bears to be able to do that. So anyway, higher lows, lower highs, still got that squeeze. Now we have a hammer that is actually right below this line. So now we got 2 candles in a row that are actually below this line. This is looking like it's actually going to start to drop right now. And we're still at a really good place to be above, yesterday's levels in here. We had an apex that came down to 1697 or so. We were still above that price right now, barely. But we could totally pull back a little bit more into any of the lows from yesterday, something like this, 1692. We had some of those levels from the day before. We definitely want to hold yesterday's lows. We don't want to come back to 1680s. 1686, something like that. It gives too much opportunity for this to become a bearish engulfing candle from the previous bearish candle and then just have a bigger meltdown. I like the bullishness of the gap. I like the waiting that's happening. I just need to wait some more to see when it's going to go bullish. Next candle throws an upper wick. Okay, this is again another indecisive candle. Can't really get this going with a bullish move. This is a wick up above a bullish candle, which we haven't had yet, but we didn't get a close above. we didn't even get a close above the bearish candle. There are a lot of bulls jumping on this saying, oh, it's going right now. And they're probably already down a little bit on the position, and their stop's probably down here, which means it's probably going to take out their stops, the way this is moving. Inside candle, look at this. This is kind of like one of those, what's it, rising three or something, falling three. You got some, I'm kind of blurring these candles a little bit, but you have this bookend over here of a bearish candle. You got some move back up. Just these three. I mean, you could count this, but I'm just looking at these three candles. These are really similar, all upper wicks. None of them are giving you a close above a bearish, above a previous bullish wick. So it's just not really strongly bullish. You're getting a lot of indecisive candles right here on the yellow line. And, again, I'm just looking for this to pull back somewhere. This isn't the rally. This isn't the breakout I was picturing. And it's not giving me the candles I want. I'm going to wait for those. And so either be on the sideline or, get set up to do something like a fade where you're just going to take this bearish, and that'd be with a move below, these bullish candles, a stop up here, something like that, or just wait. It's easier to just wait because then you're not really speculating. And here you go. Here's the breakdown. We took out the lows of the bullish candles, took out the low of the day. Something definitely shifted, with the higher lows to then a relative low and now a new low. We've come down a little bit below the apex from this triangle yesterday. We're into the stair-step prices from that immediate breakdown here. Let's see what else we're going to do. Squeeze has not fired yet. So now we've got a hammer candle, but it's not any sort of real clear level. Well, I guess it's kind of catching the highs right here. So that's something. Definitely got to see a move back up, clearly up here. I mean, that'd be a 1-to-1 if you just bought with options, probably above, or with the stock right here going above, but your stop would be down here. That'd be a good risk to reward, but I don't know if it's going to do that. Next candle breaks down. Yeah, it didn't trigger in bullish. 2 big candles in a row selling off, coming down into a little bit of the lows here. Again, it's a good pullback. Inside candle, nice upper wick, but it just isn't moving up yet. Nothing really to say, okay, buy down here. This was the easier one to buy off of, but we obviously took out the low. So yeah, I'm not touching this yet. There isn't a reason to buy down here. There isn't a reason to short it down here. Let's see what happens next. The squeeze has fired now. And okay, this is kind of a bullish engulfing, still inside the previous candle. This could be a really big Morningstar reversal here. And again, only a 1-to-1 back up to this line. Moves up a little bit. Okay. We got an upper wick that's higher than these. That's good, but it's also retesting the lows from earlier in this morning. And a lot of bullishness. Okay, we're moving up. There you go. We've retested back up to the yellow line. We've had 30 minutes of buying, and we're not really going more bearish. We lost a lot of the bearish momentum. I was saying we could have some lower highs and higher lows and have an apex, or have a triangle that kind of comes into the 1700-1702 price right in this line. Looks like we got that, just a little bit shorter time frame in an hour here, and now we've retested that level. So let's see what happens here. If we roll over, great, take a bearish. If we can, we need to consolidate some more if we're going to go bullish, but bullish is the edge. It's a bullish gap and go. There's a lot of bulls coming in here, and they've probably all got their stops down here or moved up to tighten them up. Look for one of those places to have a pullback and then a buying it down there, because that's where the bears are going to start to load in, and it'll immediately trap bears if it does continue to rally today. So really big candles. I want to see some small candles too. Okay, small candles. This looks like evening's reversal. This is where it could totally roll over. And we're just getting that stair step and then a breakout. So this is a bit of a flag. This is where bears are loading up to take it back down, and it's not going. It's actually breaking out. We took out this high. We're almost at the point of taking out this high. This is definitely going bullish. Look at this. We're trapping bears. That's the best part on a bullish gap and go. When we trap the bears, you could be getting in right now. You could wait for it to kind of pull back a little bit, come right back into the yellow line, stop down here, and we'll jump over and look at the options to see what's actually happening in this price. But let this consolidate some more too, if it will, because it's let's see, we're above yesterday. We're almost at yesterday's high also. Let me zoom in on more of what's happening here. There you go. There's your pullback. Beautiful pullback right into the line. And this is where you could be buying right here. Stop right here. Really nice risk reward. You could probably be doing 1,700 calls with $100 risk, 1,705, 1,710, something like that. It's definitely possible that it'll consolidate some more. So you could lose some value on your options. I would be looking for $100 absolute zero play. And so it would not be the 1,700 calls, maybe 1,705, maybe 1,710, maybe 1,715, something like that. Try and stick with the fives. But we're at a price right here that if you're looking at the 1,700, you may need a little more than $100 risk just because of where we're at, and you're not going to get the absolute zero with that one. So, but these are really small candles. It's moving the direction we want. It's breaking out slowly. It's got a really nice consolidation. Another opportunity to buy down here. Look at that. This one's bullish, breaking out here again. We've taken out highs. We're right at the wick. We're above yesterday's high. This is just going to continue on up. Yep, there we go. Another consolidation. We're right at the high of the days, and there's bears coming in saying, nope, no higher. And, trying to hold this level from pre-market. And it's, I don't know, that's going to hold. There you go. There's a little bit of a pullback. Look, the bears loading up on that. All you're doing is pulling right back into these, retesting these highs. Retesting kind of a little bit of a gap here. This is another great place to buy. And right back up into it. Look at this consolidation here. Any sort of bullish momentum looks like it's just petered out, but I love seeing this consolidation right here to high. This is enough weighting that you should be getting in bullish here even as it breaks out, or if it pulls back a little more, touches the 21 again, that's when to go bullish there. Nope, not going to wait for that. It's gone. There's our line. It's been a while since we've seen 1714.50, but it just hit it. Look at that. Some great opportunities. Look at these. It barely pulled back here. It pulled back a little bit here. Some really nice levels that it just consolidated, just went sideways, just trapping so many bears, and then moves on up. 25 minutes to get it all the way up here. And still a good chunk of time left on the day that it doesn't have to stop here. It could keep going up, so let's see what happens. Nice indecisive candle right there. That's the bears saying, okay, no more. If anyone's watching these videos and playing a level, this one is just being so bullish. That's not where you want to jump ahead of this thing and short it. This is where you want to be tightening up your stop, taking profit, because it's moving on through that. I don't remember what the next line is. That's a nice upper wick. That's an inverted hammer. This is a little bit of stair step. I guess all four of these are really a bit of a stair step here. This is definitely where you want to be taking profits up in this level. And this is not where you want to get in. You missed the move. If you didn't get in here and didn't get in here and didn't even get in here, you missed the move. Don't get in bullish here. I don't even know if I'd say get in bearish. Just hold on to what you got. Save your R to trade another day. There will be more opportunities. Let's see what happens the rest of the day here. Moves up a little bit more. Okay, obviously it's got the flag here. 17, 18, 80 is the high. And after it makes that high, then it starts to pull back through this line. Maybe it'll pull back a little bit more. Nice retest. There's, look at this. All these consolidations, and this one starts to break down. So this is, it doesn't look like it's going to continue moving up. It's starting to break down. It'd be great if we could get a retest. I mean, we come to 1710, even the high here, 1707. That'd be a good place to pull back to. 1710. Oh, 1710, we pause, and then we come down to 1707. Look at that. Nice. Break down a little bit more. Ooh, nice rally into the close. That would have been hard to play because it looks like it's breaking down. This is a very similar price here, probably on some of the options. I wonder if there was an opportunity to buy in the last 10 minutes with absolute zero, especially with that kind of a move. I mean, you would have been possibly just throwing away an R in the last 10 minutes of the market because it's so easy for this to go either direction from right here. And there's no telling it's going to do this kind of a move. I mean, what was that, $7, $8? $8.49 from the low to the high. That's a huge range on the closing candle there. We haven't had a closing candle like that in a long time. Like, look at this one just kind of petering out. This is just, is this a Barbosa? Yeah, open in the lower the same, high in the close are the same. That's a Barbosa. 5-minute Barbosa to close out the day. That's amazing. All right, and then we just go sideways after hours. All right, if we're looking in here, we're looking at some consolidation breaking out here, looking at pullbacks here. I'm going to start by looking at the 1700 calls. These never made it down to $100. Kind of a bummer. A lot of opportunities to be buying around $3, even as it broke out and then came back down with this candle. It didn't quite come back down to 4. It came back down to this price, almost to this low. So there were opportunities to buy at a previous low. That could have worked. Buying at 5x4, you know, it just, I'm not sure I would have had that set up, you know, just because it could pull, it's easy for it to pull back a little more, stop you out, and then to continue higher. So you just got to set up the trade and let it play out. And if you miss it a little bit, or if you get stopped out by a little bit and then it rallies, I mean, it happens, you know. Some really nice levels in here to get in bullish with the breakout, but this moved pretty quickly and didn't even pull back. So that's the 1700 call. Let's look at the 1710 and see what was going on with this one. Let's see here. Now this one came down almost to $100. So it was below 100, sorry, then it rallied and then came down to 92 cents. Came down right to $1. This was where to buy. This is where to have the trade set up. I actually had an alert when it did this. I had an alert at $100 on the 1710, and by the time I got over to look at it and set up the trade, it didn't pull back to 100 again, and I missed this opportunity. But I'm recognizing it because had I just set up the trade $100 by zero, I mean absolute zero with this, I mean I would have held through this. I probably would have been exiting probably would have been exiting right in here where it came up to 1714.50. So that would have been 12:45, probably, you know, by 1 o'clock would have been exiting, and probably would have been getting out for around $6. I mean, getting in at 100 and getting out at 500, 600, that would have been a great day. I mean, to just have that be the trade, but it played out so much how I wanted it to, even giving me the $100 price here. I really wanted that to happen with, you know, a nice round option, but still doing it with the 1710 works. And it didn't, I mean, I was watching the other options too. Let's see, was it the 1715? I think it was 1750. No, you know what? I think it was 1712 because I missed the breakout then too. I was looking for $100. I didn't quite want to go up to 1715. Yeah, with the breakout, I was looking at getting in at 100, 100 by zero, you know, or 1 by 0. And it broke out and it didn't look back. It just didn't retest whatsoever. And I didn't really want to be in the 1715 calls, even though that worked as well. Like all of the call options worked. I didn't like how it was moving. I mean, I could have gotten in for $100, but after I had spent a lot more time down around 50 and below, I really just didn't want to, set that up and wait for it to just grind. I thought it was going to take longer to get up here and possibly not get into the money, and obviously I was wrong with how aggressively that moved. And it didn't quite come back down to $100 here either. It's like, oh man, missing so many of these, but recognizing it. This was my day to miss. I had things ready to go, and I had the alert here instead of just having the order. Should have just had the order, and I would have been up, on this kind of a move. Even this rollover, the puts were working. Not that put. 1710 on that rollover. Yeah, came down to around $1, and then that rallied up to 5 or 6. So there were opportunities all over the place today. There were opportunities. What I loved about today's move, it's something I've seen before in Amazon. I'd have to go back and figure out on 5-minute candles when I've seen this. But you don't have to be so aggressive to be buying a reversal. You can be waiting for consolidation and just get in, or get in on a breakout. And you can even get in after multiple breakouts or consolidations, because this one, if you look at the price, and so this is really what I love looking at on how these options move. So let's go back to the 1710, and we had. So there's a point in the day on a Friday. This is what I love about Fridays, out of the money options that can get in the money and be, huge gains. They've got to be setting up just right, and you don't have to be buying down here, calling the reversal. You don't have to be calling the low, because the value of the option hardly changed through here. This was between like the 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock hour. Look what's going on between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. We're rallying. We're moving up. And the option's going nowhere. That's the option to watch, because it's not selling off. It's not losing value. It's just coasting sideways. You wait for those breakouts. So this one, it started to move a little bit. This is 11 to 11:15, right? 11 to 11:15. It starts moving. It doubled. That's a great trade. $100 to $200. You get in, you're out, you're done. But those ones are the days where if you wait a little bit longer, you wait for it to peter out. You wait for people to be selling it to get out, to, maybe they didn't move their stop. Maybe they didn't exit, and it's going to come back down. And I've seen this before. Like I said, it came back down to $100, came back down to that nice round number. And all the while here, it's going sideways on the stock. The options lose in value. People are bailing. But if you hold your resolve and you wait, you just wait and you do the setup, just like it broke out from here. Like this is where it was at $100, you wait, have that set up. And I didn't have it set up. That was my mistake. You wait for that pullback, and you either get stopped out because it's going to pull back some more, or if you're at absolute zero, you're just going to hold on to it a little bit longer and maybe bail to lose less than an R. But on those that it does actually bounce, they usually rally hard, and this one did. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this on a Friday with the right setup, the right pullback. It's rallying. It's clearly bullish. You wait and you get in on the pullback candles, and you just, it moves in your favor. And missed it today, but this one I've definitely learned from. Hope you're learning from this one too. And I plan on getting the next one, or if not the next one, plan on getting one of these soon, and then more of them, because I've seen this. I know how to trade it, and It was just an amazing, amazing gap. Some of the best part was it didn't do what everybody wanted it to do right out the gate. And the Bulls were losing out. The Bears looked like they were in charge. And then they weren't. I mean, after these two big bearish candles, I mean, the Bulls were totally rallying this thing until it got up here. Even then, I mean, it still consolidated. It still looked like it could do it again. It really looked like it could rally again, and it didn't, obviously. But you know, there were opportunities all over the place today. Even when I saw this candle forming and saw this pull back, I'm like, man, what if we get a strong bullish rally? What if that happens? Because it was setting up so well to do that. I mean, where it opened was almost clearing the highs here. And I just talked about, on the video yesterday, what if from this double top, we actually get up here, and we did. We got up here, we held this value, wherever it is. I mean, I don't know why it bounced there, but you don't have to worry about where it's bouncing. You just wait for the option that you want after one of these consolidations. And I mean, if you look at this looks pretty bad. Like, this looks like, okay, it's going to roll over. It's going, okay, it's going to pause like this. It's going to keep going lower. I think I was looking at the chart here and I'm like, okay, well, I guess it could go back. It could pull back some more. And then I was looking at it. It's like, oh, it's back up here. Oh, it's going bullish the rest of the day. And that's when I was waiting for that $100 price. Saw it there. I had the alert set up somewhere in here, got the alert, went back in. And by the time I went to get in, it was already moving up. Missed it. Just missed it. So, hope that's something that's a lesson to myself with this video and to everybody else. Let me zoom out of here. So follow along, like, just look at how the stock moved today with the 1710 call, which is the one that I was looking to get into here. It looked like it was going to do something. It looked like it was going to bounce. There was opportunities to buy it around $2 and flip it for, get out at 3, or, there was opportunities there. And then it just petered out. It, as this went sideways, the option totally lost its value, pulled back. It was below $1 here. There is no reason to be buying the 1710 call down here. Don't do it. That's speculating. I've done that, because you're going to hold through this and you're going to be like, oh, it's not doing anything. I'm going to get out. And you're going to be selling just like these people. And then it's going to rally. And then you're going to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to get back in. And you get in here again. And then it just pulls back and you get stopped out, or you bail again because you're buying the wrong time. Not the wrong strike. The strike is right. It's the wrong time of the day. When it's rallying, that's when you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting in. And then it stops rallying. You got to be getting in when it looks like it's rolling over. You got to be getting in when it's consolidated so much that it's like, okay, it's never going to go bullish. When you get those feelings of like, okay, I'm going to bail, that's when you should be getting in on these days. And so, this is where it pulled back to $100 right here. And then from there, it didn't, that was the touch of the 21 exponential. And it would have been phenomenal had I bought it 100 and flipped it at 8 or 9. I would have, let's see, 940 was the high. So I would have been singing a little bit of different tune right now, but still recognizing that opportunity. And look for this to continue on bullish. I said that over here, something's different. This is a higher high on, I think, a weekly, right? Friday, Thursday. I think that was last week's high. So higher high on the weekly. We've made a higher high on the monthly. We are at a resistance zone. Again, we're at this resistance zone. We don't have to push so much higher, but we just had a bullish gap and go. Huge, huge volume. The squeeze momentum is back up. I know we're 10 bars in now, but this thing could, rally a couple more days, do an S curve, pull back into this price we're at right now, retesting, the yellow line here from above. I mean, what if we even wicked lower like this one did? That'd be pretty cool if we could wick down to this, next week or the week after, come back down to like this price. Where are we at here? 1690, something like that. The low here. The 21 comes up. I mean, this thing is itching to just move. It's been in this consolidation for so long that, it could totally go. I haven't looked at the weekly. Okay. Yeah, so higher high in the weekly. Oh, we got a weekly squeeze too. Oh man, this thing's getting ready for a bigger move. I mean, the summer on Amazon over the next few months, we might be getting a new all-time high by the end of the summer. I mean, that's what this is setting up to tell me. Last time we had a squeeze on a weekly, look what we did. We went from 1,000. From 1,000, we doubled. I mean, what if we double from here? We're at 1,700. What if we doubled? That's 3,400. Over more than a few weeks, though. Let me say that. If we were to double from, what was that? 2 years? What, a year? No, what? 18, 19, was that a year? October, not even a year. Okay, sorry, I was seeing 18, thinking, okay, in a year we doubled. Coming out of a weekly squeeze, we could totally double over the next year. So look for pullbacks to be buying if you're long on shares. Look for some longer term options on pullbacks too. And we're going to just keep rocking out the 5-minute and nail this thing down because, yeah, there you go. One of the squeeze on the monthly. The monthly looks like a mess with all my lines in here, but there is definitely a method to all this madness that started in February last year, and we can definitely keep going higher. Again, be bullish. It's okay to have a big pullback like this. It's okay if we come back into this triangle and come back way down here. That'd be amazing if we did that. Some great opportunities to buy around 1,600, I don't know if it will. It did last time when I didn't expect it. Maybe it'll do it again. I really like this gap today to just say it's going to keep on going up. If we can pause here for a day, if we can do this again, we had a bullish retest, stair step, bullish gap and go. If we get another bearish candle here and then do another gap up, watch out. That'd be so cool. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Go back through, walk through the 5-minute today. Do this for yourself and figure out what were the best opportunities to be buying these options, what were the best opportunities to buy, to sell, to wait, not to get into something. Figure that out because it will make you a better trader, especially if you want to make some big gains on Fridays with weekly options. This is how to do it. So that's what I'm going to continue to do, and I hope you like it. Like the video if you do, subscribe, tell your friends, and come on back for the next video on the next day. Hopefully I stay healthy after this week, and yeah, hope you enjoyed this one. This is Justin Amazon. Thanks.